You ready for some Frieren?
Yes, sir. Let's do this shit.
All right, all right, all right. This is Frieren, episode 8. Frieren the Slayer. This girl's bite. Okay, so in this episode, we see this anime heat up even more, man. It's really been picking up. And Fern and Stark begin to fight back against the demon peace, quote unquote peace, envoy on Freren's orders. Meanwhile, our favorite elf is ready to go back to her old ways. So, I mean, just to start off this episode, right where we left off last time in episode 7, Draught, one of Aura's executioners, tries to pull up on Frieren while she's stuck in the jail cell. And like we know he's really not that guy. We know this elf is like over 1,000 years old, just been roaming around, getting stronger. And he goes for a 1v1 with her in a closed space. I would never. Um, but Frieren like is like trying to be nice, and she's like, I'm really strong. And Draught's like, I'm not seeing that. And she's like, okay, bro. She's like, I'm stronger than you. She's like, how strong are you? He's like, I'm stronger than Aura, which is his fucking boss, like
Yeah.
the big baddie. And like if it was me and somebody I was fighting said that and like was super calm about that shit and was just looking at me dead in my eyes, deadpan, I might be like, yeah, I might leave now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a 50-50 shot that this chick is bullshitting me, but, it's also 50, like I said, 50-50 that she's not.
It's a coin flip whether I'm gonna lose my life or not.
And
Not me.
I'm hitting the road, bro. Somebody else can figure that out. They can flip that coin.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Aura take care of that shit.
Yeah, I really love that scene. And you know, me and Dan was actually talking about it. The staff, she's always got the staff, and we was wondering if she would be able to actually use magic without her staff, or if she would just pull it out of thin air, because we noticed that she does that too. Um, so that was another point that we was looking for in this episode.
Yeah, so I think the general thing with like mages, at least in this world, is like they always have their staff on them, but like it's thin air. They can conjure it, if you will.
Yeah,
I don't think the spells that they use,
require it.
like small spells, right?
Yeah,
I think the staff is more of a channeling object,
yeah,
like for them to use like more of their max power. Which Frieren just did not need that,
yeah.
so she didn't even pull it out because he's like super low level.
Yeah, and after, like I said, after this episode, we actually confirmed that now. So, she can use, we people can use magic without their staffs. So it's, but like Bass was saying, he was just so low level that she didn't need to focus that much energy into killing him. So I don't even know if she would need that much energy to kill uh the main chick, Aura, or whatever. So
Probably not from what we learned about her at the
yeah.
last of the episode. But just to finish off this section, Drought like pulls out like a magic string, and he says it's Demon Kind's like one of their strongest spells, and he has it wrapped around her neck, and he's about to hang her. And she was like, "Yeah, I really can't do anything about this string." And he's like, "I'm gonna cut through your mana around your neck and your neck." And Frieren is just so cold with it. She's like, "These demons today are so hopeless, and they have no battle experience," and just cuts off his hands and kills him. Shit was dope. I didn't know she was cold like this. You know what I'm saying? She been collecting spells for blue flowers and shit. I didn't know she had it like this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see this shit.
When you put it in that perspective, bro, this shit's wild, man. This shit is so wild.
Yeah, but we know like her master's OP, and so I guess
Yeah,
sometimes I forget that because they haven't really been doing anything.
yeah,
Uh, Kind of just wandering around. But we go back to like the streets of the city, and Fern is talking to Stark, and he said, we need to petition for our master's release so we can kind of like have her beat these demons because like this is light work to her. I know it is. And Stark says, you know what, I agree because I know we can't do it because Lord Lugner didn't even pay us any attention when Frieren um was getting arrested. He wouldn't even look at us. But I think he's really low on himself. He doesn't have that much confidence. But my interpretation of that scene. Before I get into it, what was your interpretation of that scene when he like was completely disregarding those two?
Yeah, I mean, well, Stark kind of hit the nail on the head. I think that he's just too confident to. He thinks that all the humans are below him except for, Frieren, obviously, and that's the only reason why he was noticing or giving her any attention, I guess you can
Hmm.
say, is because he thought that she was the only one that was close to his level, but he's sadly mistaken because he ain't even close to her level. So
Right. My interpretation of it was like, so we knew after Stark defeated that dragon, pretty much a couple hit KO or one hit KO, that he was really strong. Like his master, Eisen was a beast, and he was afraid of him. And they defeated the Demon King. This guy's boss's boss's boss.
yeah.
So what I was thinking was that Lugner was so afraid of the elf, he didn't want to look anywhere else.
Mm.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, okay, I have this massive threat right in front of me. I have to be looking at her. She might kill me right now. I thought it was more fear
Okay.
than disregard.
It could have been. He's very good about not showing fear. So
Yeah.
it
I mean,
seemed like in what we've seen.
if you got a grizzly bear in your room, and a bunch of scorpions, you probably gonna look at the grizzly bear. You know what I'm saying?
Scorpion gonna kill you too, bro.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's good. That's a good analogy though, out there. Very good analogy.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Um, but yeah, we after this little scene with them talking, we go back to where the demons are kind of like having their tea and their breakfast or whatever, hanging out in a small library, and Lenny, the small girl demon from the envoy, she immediately realizes, oh, Drought's energy, his mana is gone, like it's gone, and then Lugner's like, okay, he must be dead. But I thought it was really good that he said back to Lenny that you don't die just from underestimating somebody.
Not us, He
Yeah,
was
he's
like,
like, we
not
don't.
us.
Yeah, you have to be like so. I think he was like saying to her, like he died to something really powerful. It was probably that elf. It's not just simple miscalculation. He got completely overpowered. But upon the graph comes in and realizes Drop must have gone to kill the elf, and he understands that Frieren wouldn't kill a guard, and they found a guard dead and Frieren gone. And he doesn't think that she would kill a guard because she didn't. She had the opportunity to kill a bunch of people, and she kind of just laid down and went to jail peacefully. Why would why would she all of a sudden switch up and then start killing people, knowing the consequences, the possible
Yeah,
consequences?
he's pretty smart about that too. That's pretty logical thinking. So
Yes, yes. I wasn't expecting him to like deduce that in this episode. I thought he was just going to think Frieren was the killer.
but she did too. So
Yeah, props to the graph on this one.
yeah.
But unfortunately, the graph and his guards got fucking dog walked by Lugner. I mean, as soon as he kind of like Lugner kind of let down the veil on his fake niceness, because we all know demons use words to manipulate people. And Lugner himself says, we're really just wild beasts. I mean, we only use words to like try to slow y'all down and trick you guys. And he was actually very happy that he could use violence now. And I was like, okay, like I kind of like your energy. You're not a good guy, but I like the energy. He wants the box. I want to see some boxing. We're aligned in a way. Um, One line that kind of stuck out to me while the graph was getting absolutely dog walk. He says, "The weak always die, whether it's lose, whether it's words of war or war, just like the bearer of this sword." Which I couldn't remember
Mm,
if it was his son that used to wield that sword or his father, but
it's
that really
done.
gets the graph. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it was his son, and that's when he admits to just being a wild beast and kind of takes him captive. And he could have cut off his head very easily, but he's playing the long game.
Yeah. Well, because they want the barrier to come down, and they know that the only way to get the barrier down is if he's alive and he shows them how to get it down. So,
Yes. And I believe that barrier was actually created by Frieren's master, wasn't it?
yeah, Flame. Yeah, apparently, from what I understood, she put her barrier spell around a single budding uh something flower tree. I'm not sure, and it
Hmm.
grew into over the town. Right, is what I assume is I got out of that situation.
I think he was just it was just to show us that she uses barriers. I think it may have been remember that tree that they were searching after to get Flame. It's like I don't know what to call it, premonition, her after ghost or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that may have been the tree or just like a random bud in the ice storm that she liked. But I think it was just to
Oh,
show us that she she had great barriers. You know,
you
she
think
can.
so?
Well, it was a blizzard and it was like a
Well,
little sprout. I think it was just to show us the power that she has.
so the way I literally took it is that she placed that from from what the dialogue said, it made it sound like that she placed that spell 1,000 years ago, and that barrier grew in that time and made the barrier over the town. That's what it sounded like to me, but I don't know. That was
Hey,
very,
it's cooler than
you
what I
know,
just said. We're gonna go
yeah.
with it. Shit.
I mean, but I could be wrong, and it could be just showing us how it works. But that would be super cool if it was that. But they was very vague about it. So, um,
They were.
about the barrier situation. So, um,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but either way, getting back to the plot here, um, Stark and Fern are actually going to petition to the Graph, but they see Frieren walking towards them and kind of walks past them, and she pulls him into the alleyway, and Frieren with more cold ass lines. Stark is like begging her to go fight Lugner, and she's like, and he's like, oh, he's so strong, and Fern's like, oh, he's so strong, and she's like, you're not gonna fight them just because they're strong. I thought it was
yeah,
cold, and then she follows it up with some good mentor words. Besides, I don't think you're weaker than them, which we find is very true. But I think my first impressions of Frieren was that she wasn't a great teacher. I thought she was just gonna like waste away Fern's life and then be like, oh shit, she's about to die. But she's actually a great teacher, man.
yeah. Well, she believes in uh making her do shit on her own when she knows that she can do that shit.
Yes.
So she don't like interfering. If she knows that she can do it by herself, then there's no need for her to step in. She has to either sink or swim. It's basically, I mean, it's a proven method,
100%. Yeah.
So
Baptism by fire. That's what they called that at my first job after work. I mean, after college, yeah, it was a little nuts. But yeah, so Freren says, I have to leave town anyway. I need to get out of here. And she like fakes leaving because she thinks she's about to get pressed for killing the guard. When really she's been sensing a large amount of mana outside the city and is really sensing the mana of Aro the guillotine. And she knows who it is. So I guess your mana has like some sort of signature they can kind of tell you because she's faced her before. But it was something a little sly. Is like Frieren was like smiling. She's like, I hate fighting strong opponents too. But she was smiling like a goddamn devil. I
yeah,
think she's about to go stomp this woman real quick because she's really not that strong compared to her.
yeah. I think that she wants to think that she hates fighting strong people. I think it gives her that thrill, but though, you
Yes,
know,
sir. The
not many
shakes.
things give her a thrill, probably, but this probably does. So,
Yeah, she's like, I get to go do what I do best because I'm
yeah,
her. Yeah, no,
yeah,
she about to mix it up. I'm very excited to see it.
yeah.
But yeah, on to Ferns and Stark's little rescue mission, and just from the jump, I thought it was pretty cool. They're like invading the castle at night, just them two sneaking in, and Fern was like kind of just floating around, walking across water and shit like she Jesus, and Stark was like roughing it, like he's walking through the water with his axe above his head, swimming. climbs up the wall and it's like, jump up, Fern. And she's like floats over him. So I
Poor
love that
guy.
Stark. Yeah, sometimes it's a little overkill, but Stark is good comic relief.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
Fern is too though. I
she
enjoy
can
all
be.
the character
Yeah,
dynamics, so
they they.
they do this really good. So
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Um, but yeah, while this is happening, they're the demons have captured the graph, and Lugner's kind of explaining demon magic to the graph. The villain's got to do his little monologue shit, and he
yeah,
explains to us that demons spend their whole lives like developing magic. However, all it takes is one genius to outmatch them, and this is kind of where the scene where um, Flame was putting the shield, I mean the barrier around that little plant we were talking about. And he says, we spend our long lives creating this intricate magic, this powerful magic, and all it takes is one genius to screw everything up. And he's really talking about the barrier. So he hates geniuses. And then that's where he kind of gets into like making the graph talk. So he's going to pretty much torture this guy. But first he says, I know silence is a torture to you humans, so I'll be back in a little bit. And that's when Stark comes out and tries to cut the graph loose. But the rope has been imbued with a strong magic. And really, we think Stark is struggling and wasn't prepared for this. But really, he uses it as an opening. And Lugner comes back in. He's like, this dumbass kid is in here trying to free him. And even the graph is like, yeah, this dumbass kid is in here trying to free me, man.
stupid kids,
He probably
man.
should leave, but it's a little too late. But nobody knows that Stark is really that clean with it. And he cuts off Lugner's right arm along with some of his torso. But he pins him down and kind of yells out for Fern, saying, I created this opening, take advantage. And Lugner's very confused about how Fern evaded Lenny's detection. And she just kind of used an ordinary offensive spell, is what she called it, and obliterated Lugner. Didn't quite kill him, but it seemed like it wasn't close, right, Tyler?
Yeah, well, the only reason, yeah, I think she got a little excited. I think, and kind of almost missed. It was what it seemed like. She didn't really hit the center mass. She kind of hit a little right. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
That,
I think it could have killed him, but it just missed the mark a little bit. Probably nerves, honestly.
yeah, I think so. And I mean, there's a lot going on in the room because you have the graph in there, you have um, Stark in there, and she has to be kind of careful because I think she could have obliterated that whole room if she really wanted to. Um,
100%.
yeah, so she had to be precise, and she was just a little off here. And Lugner's trying to kind of talk to her to like, get some regen going so they can actually fight. And she asked him, what the fuck did you just use on me, dog? Like, what was that? And she calls it Zolt. He's like, ordinary offensive magic. You guys call it Zoltrak. He was like, bullshit. That's not Zoltrak. We got past that 50 years ago. Like, what are you doing? And she realizes that they're trying to talk to her to like slow down time. She's heard Frieren say that they use words as weapons, just like people do. But and she's like, yeah, it's time to leave. Like the graph's hurt. We got to go. But one thing I had a question for you is, do do you think demon magic is just that much weaker than average human magic, or do you think it's Frieren and Fern that have like this really powerful magic?
Um, I'm not sure. To be honest with you, because we've not seen like any other like crazy magic display right now. But the demon Lugner goes on to say something that's kind of interesting too, and he says that they've invented this Zotrak. They're calling it Zotrak, but it's actually magic that's invented to kill demons specifically.
Right.
Demon killing magic. And and I think he goes on to say that Frieren was the one that helped uh like make it go that way and kind of invent this. So it makes you wonder if only certain people are capable of using that caliber of magic, or if it's available for everyone. Because we just haven't seen anybody. We've only seen what Fern and Frieren and the demons so far using magic. So
Yeah, that's true. Like we haven't really seen any other like strong mages yet. So hopefully they explore that a little bit. Because the demons having such long lives, you would think they would be able to come up with really strong magic and develop it. But I think it was mentioned in episode 2, or no, not episode 2. I think like episode 5 or 6, that demons are mostly solitary creatures. So they might be working on a magic and like it not be that powerful because they're not working together like humans tend to do, or they might not have apprentices that they teach to. So I don't know if it's that, or if Furin's just, well, we know Furin's OP. We
yeah.
learned that in just a second. I'll get into that. But yeah, Luckner is really trying to figure out who Fern is like reminding her of him of. And he's like, wait a second. I've been hit by this spell before. This shit hurts, and it hurts the same. And he's like, it's the, like Tyler said, he's like, this is the person who helped humankind understand Zoltrak. And she's killed more demons than anybody else in history. Frieren the Slayer. Shit is sick. And it kind of cut
hard lines, bro.
Yeah, she's really hurt. She's really hurt. And like it cuts to Frieren floating in front of Aura and her little army. And it's about to be curtains for her. We already know that.
Yeah. All I want to say is, leading up to this episode, I've already been floating around, anime of the year type shit. But this anime keeps on coming back with steady animation plus great, like, all around storytelling. And it just keeps getting better and better with the character development. I don't see how this doesn't win like anime of the year, honestly. So
Yeah, it's been so good so far, and like we're really just heating up. Do you know how many episodes this season's supposed to be?
it's supposed to be 2 hours, so
Oh,
consecutive 2 hours. So
oh, perfect. I'm here
yeah,
for it. Cool,
maybe
cool, cool.
28. So
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Actually, I'm very excited. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole episode.